most unusual times, I tell you. Anybody who's bothered to pick up, their tablet or their phone or the newspaper, looked at the television set or anything these days, I mean, it's obvious. Wow, crazy nuts times, Yeah, wars everywhere, rumors of wars, brothers rising up against brothers and sisters against sisters, protests, demonstrations, bombs, starvation, blah, 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 blah. I mean, sometimes when I look at all the people around the globe that can't even get a sack of flour, I feel bad about the fact that I'm spending a lot of time focusing on my diet, for instance, although I do believe my diet is very much the source of my emotions. And I think since COVID passed over this planet, there's a whole lot of people with the disarranged gut biome out there that could really use some good food. It troubles me. I don't know what you do with things like this. It's a little bit too huge. But, I see it out there. It's supposedly in the streets. The universities are all up in arms about Palestinians and everything else. And, well, president's on trial for the first time, blah, blah. Everything's strange. It's all kind of messy. Really, really messy, it seems. I don't think it's just my state of mind. How the rest of you feel? Is it kind of messy out there? And, when it comes to predictions and prophecies and such, I am not a naysayer on any of that, okay? Nor do I follow astrologers around or anything else. Personally, I believe prophecy is entirely real thing. The exact mechanisms. My opinion is I think you can read the future and fortunes and whatever you want to by any media, whether it be reading the stars, tea leaves, chicken entrails like the Romans used to use. That's a good one. Ooh, I'd rather read the stars. No wonder they went for astrology. Well, I guess you could eat the chicken later, right? Did they eat the chicken? I don't know. Anyhow, I think any media will work for doing that. I don't think it's the media, it's the medium, it's the person doing this. But I know there was talk a while ago, somebody's telling me on astrology, it's Mercury retrograde, that's just bad news, whatever. I don't know if we're entering a new age here or what, but it seems like around here lately, I have had an inordinate amount of mechanical and technological things just going whang. There are things that maybe been around for quite a while, causing no problems, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's been odd. I have a pretty good list, I guess, but I mean, it's things from like the power strip, suddenly poof, dies. I'm in negotiations with major American corporations at the moment. My robot vacuum cleaners program went haywire, and it decides it starts up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It starts vacuuming the frickin' house, and it even told me this morning while I was drinking coffee, navigation error, call help desk. Really? The Chevy Volt, which I've been really quite happy with. I'm not one who gets upset about the fact they had to put a battery in the thing. But now suddenly the steering rack is starting to fail, and they don't have a recall on it. And I have been at battle with them over the whole thing. And that went out. Well, then, okay, fine. I still got one old gas car over here. They fired up, go to the post office. Yeah. The yellow check engine light comes on. I got to go analyze it, but it's most likely it's either the fuel cap or an oxygen sensor. I mean, it's not going to blow up, but why now? Just why now? The telephone stops keeping time. Yes. New telephone, and the time keeps slipping on it, on and on. There's a lot. It's crazy, and so as I started on this diet program, attempting to readjust my gut biome, I have been getting very positive results, and my energy level is rising. The rain stopped for a while yesterday, and so I grabbed my weed eater and I ran out there, and I ran 2 battery banks right down. I mean, I was out there for quite a while. I usually quit after I kill 1 battery, but I ran a couple of them down. Part recharged one, went back a little later, and ran that one down too, which means my energy is picking up, right? But so safety first, You really want to make sure when you're using one of those things that you're at least using long pants, heavy. I was wearing denim overalls, which usually work out pretty well. Good foot gear is another good idea because they throw stuff and you can actually hit your toes with them. So I wouldn't wear flip-flops, although some people do. And I make sure I put on my eye protection, And, most of the time around here, I admit, the majority of the eye protection that I own is glass lensed. It was probably not the best idea because in the past I have incurred a good-sized bill while working in people's yards by picking up gravel with one of those things and throwing it right through a brand new patio door, for instance, like a bullet. And I had to pay for the patio door. It was their gravel, but my weed whacker. Anyway, so on my own back door here, I put cardboard boxes up against it, as bumpers to make sure I didn't do the same thing to mine. I'm out here and I'm whacking around, and all of a sudden, crack. Yeah. These are my Ray-Ban Lenons. These have been with me for 20 years. Right here, you'll see the spider web. Yeah, that was a rock. Man, I guess I'm lucky that Ray-Ban makes good lenses, seriously, because no pieces came out in towards my eye. In fact, I wasn't even sure I'd cracked the lens for a bit. Suddenly I noticed a line. I went, what's this? Yeah. 20 years. 20 years. And, many jobs with power tools, too. First time I ever had direct hit. Now, it's a good thing. I'm so happy. Well, that could have been an eyeball. Yeah, so thank you, Ray-Ban. But I went back to see, what's a pair of these things worth these days? Well, with inflation and blah, blah, and since I bought these, an Italian company bought the American company, blah, blah, but $180 for another pair. The only good news is I went in and looked at the stock market, and I'd made about $5,000 in the same day just on stocks. So the $180 and maybe the cost to replace the steering rack and my bolt and a bunch of other things, it's not really going to be that bad if you don't mind transferring bills from hand to hand. But whoa. Anyway, so I told myself that I had better go get some plastic lenses if I'm going to continue this. And so my neighbors had given me a gift of some of these glasses that enhance the light, So I've been using them mostly to look under my fish pond so I could see my fish. It worked really good for that. That's these. You see them sometimes. I think they advertise them on television or YouTube or something. I've seen them before. Well, if you look close, after I used them in the yard here, you'll notice the coating is almost completely burned off in places. More debris from the weed whacker. Took the coating right up the front of the lenses. Man, I swear. Anyway, I guess the reason I'm doing this right now is that I'm curious. Has anybody else been having crazy stuff like this? Just, things that have been around forever, and there's all of a sudden, poof, 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 all breaking. Coffee pot broke. Yeah. Flooded my lap from the thermal carafe, sitting there in the dark, watching the sunrise, got a pot of coffee, and got the cup one. Started pouring it in. Next thing I know, my chest is soaked, the chair is soaked. I got coffee running everywhere. The gasket that fits around the top of the carafe apparently had popped off, fell inside the pot, and was no longer sealing things, and in the process, it's history. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Not well. I put it all back together, but it's not functioning. It leaks. So be careful with my coffee in the morning. We have ordered a new coffee pot that will be here in 3 weeks. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, it's like that. I can go on. Now, I know everybody who lives here in Hawaii, we all know electronics go at any moment, mostly because of salt in the air or sulfur dioxide in the air. There's a lot of reasons, but things tend to green up and die around here, if they are powered. So that's not new. But anyway, let me know if anybody else has been having a bad run of mechanical devices. Aloha, hang loose.